Hi everyone, I'm Brianna and welcome to Roll Initiative. Today we're going to be talking about a couple things that players wish their DMs did. So, let's get started. So, just before we get into some of these, I'd like to say that not all tables are going to be the same. In fact, pretty much no table is going to be the same. So you can't take everything in this video as a guarantee. These are just some very common things that players wish their DMs did. That doesn't mean it's what all players wish their DM did. Well, now that you've been warned, let's have a look at some of these. A lot of players just wanted to know what the campaign was going to be like, what the style of play was going to be like before character creation. That way they can make a character that fits the game. So you don't need to give away any important plot information or anything, just what the game is going to be like, whether it's going to be medieval fantasy or whether it's going to be pirates. Probably one of the most important things in a campaign to a player is their character. They make these cool, fun characters that they care about, so they want them to be cool sometimes. So if players love their characters and they want them to be cool, then as a DM, it's part of your job to run the game, but it's also part of your job to make sure that everyone's having a good time. And if that means setting up situations where people are going to shine, then your players are going to have so much more fun at your table. A lot of players just want to roleplay, and that can be hard when you, as the DM, fall into that monologuing trap of just describing everything and never leaving space. It can be hard leaving space as you feel like you're not doing your job or boring your players. But your players need to feel like they have room to speak, to roleplay. Especially if you want your players to roleplay and they don't, a big reason for that might be that they don't have space to roleplay. Maybe they want to, they just don't feel like there's room for it. So many players just want combat to matter. They don't want just random fights having to attack people for no reason or being attacked for no reason. Most players want it to align with the story, to be important. And that can be hard as the DM has so much on their shoulders already, especially with combat. But combat is also such a big part of D&D that I think it deserves to be part of the story and to be important in the campaign. Another very popular thing that players seem to want DMs to do is to use inspiration. A lot of people just seem to forget about it. The biggest complaint about inspiration is DMs forgetting to award it and players forgetting to use it. Something you can do for the players at least is to give them a physical token like a coin or some sort of trinket, just something small that reminds them that they have inspiration. For DMs, I think it's just practice. It's just a mindset and a habit. But inspiration is a really awesome gameplay tool and a really good way for DMs to be able to encourage behavior they want at the table or in game. So I think it's definitely worth trying to use it and trying to fix this problem. Now, possibly the biggest thing that players wish DMs would do is to pay attention to their backstories, to include it in the campaign, to let them visit their hometown, see an NPC from their backstory, anything that makes them feel connected to the world. It is an amazing feeling and it's awesome for the story. It makes your players feel connected and they'll be more attentive to the story. So I think doing this is a real win win. It helps the story feel more real, it helps your players connect to the story, it makes your players happy, and it can really help everyone at the table to feel like they're all connected and that they all have a reason to be doing what they're doing. Like I said at the beginning of this video, though, not all of this is going to work for every table. And the most surefire way to find out what your players want is to ask them, because they might feel bad about wanting some stuff that you're not doing and probably don't want to hurt your feelings by telling you that there's stuff that you're missing. But if you ask them, then they'll feel like they matter and will most likely be happy to tell you what they'd like. So, anyway, I really hope this was helpful. And if it was, then I hope you'd consider liking it or maybe even subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.